Welcome to Car Sales Talk 101, where it's all about life in the car business. Telling you like it is. Here's the man with the plan, Terry Cameron. Let's get started.
Welcome back to Car Sales Talk 101. I'm Terry Cameron. Thanks for hanging out again with me this week. Just when I think I can't find another subject for my next episode, a salesperson does something or says something that warrants me spending some time talking about it. It never fails. This particular salesperson boldly and blatantly skated another salesperson he works, which gets us started on episode number 189, Skating, Honor Amongst Thieves. Now, skating is a term used in the car business for skating a car deal or a customer from other salespeople, and if it's done successfully, the other salespeople never even know it happened. You skate right by them and pocket their commission without them ever finding out. Now, in the rest of the world, this is known by a different name. It's called stealing, and man, does that get under my skin. I recall my first taste of being skated. It was a long time ago, some 30 years or so in my early days as a salesman, but still fresh in my mind because of how it affected me. Now, this is before the introduction of the CRM and cell phones, and yes, they did have cars back then. You had to rely on taking great care of your customers while they were in your dealership, and you had to maintain contact through landline phones and snail mail to ensure they remember you. I remember it was my day off when a B-back came in to purchase a car from me. When they found out that I was off, they decided to come back the next day as they wanted to buy the car from only me. The salesperson, I use that term lightly, in the office next to me, greeted the customer and assured them that he would be more than happy to help them out on my behalf. What a great fella. Or so they thought. Our offices were more like glass cubicles, so everyone could see everything and every customer that was in the dealership. So this salesperson knew they were my customers, and because our offices weren't soundproof, he also heard the conversations we had on our previous visit, and it was obvious they were quality customers, or strong as a bear, as we like to say. Needless to say, they purchased that same vehicle I presented and demoed with them, and were busting bugs in just a few hours. Now, that was on a Wednesday, and the following Friday, I called to follow up as I told them would. You can imagine how I felt when they told me they had been to the dealership on my day off and purchased the same car we already agreed on. They were surprised that I didn't know about it because the other guy said he would let me know. They told me what happened, and I was steaming, to say the least. Because I didn't want the customer to get involved or feel bad, I congratulated them and thanked them for their business and assured them everything was fine and that I would be the one to help them with any future issues. Well, I was quite a bit younger, and I had a terrible time managing my anger back then, and the first thing that came to mind was to drag that salesman out back and beat the living shit out of him. My manager saw what was happening, threw the red flag, and after further review, he righted the wrong. He fired the salesman. And then, of course, the commissions were routed to me. Now, I even thought that firing him was a little drastic, but my manager said that he was basically stealing from me, and if he could do that, he'd probably do it to others, and even the company itself. In today's car business, we have the CRM as a watchdog for skaters, among other things, but we also have some very savvy salespeople that know how to work around the CRM. I really hate to give tips to these less than honest salespeople that might listen to this podcast, but it might also help the meek and mild green peas watch out for this thievery. When we get back from this break, we'll further discuss skating, the methods skaters use, and the way to protect yourself from these crooks. Auto dealers, do you know where your vehicles are and when they'll arrive? I know the inventory management challenge dealers face, so I'm certain the answer is a resounding no. But Montway Auto Transport can change your answer to a confident yes with the Montway Automation Portal, better known as MAP, M-A-P. MAP offers a smarter way to move and manage orders while giving you end-to-end visibility of all inbound and outbound units. You can upload VINs, get pricing, dispatch the orders, and track every unit on the dashboard. Leveraging MAP can save you time and money and get your vehicles to your lots quicker to sell. With MAP, you can book, track, and manage your inventory from one revolutionary platform. See MAP in action at www.montway.com/MAP. Now write this down, www.montway.com/MAP, and put your dealership on the map. Welcome back. Crooked salespeople have many tricks up their sleeves, but they're basically three main tricks they use to steal your money. Skater trick number one is to misspell the customer's name on purpose when entering them into the CRM. Skater trick number two is to replace digits in the address, phone number, and email address. And skater trick number three, and probably the hardest to detect, is to enter the spouse or co-buyer that was not attached to the previous entry. I'm sure there are more, but these are the most common. I've also seen, and it's sad to say, but I know managers, GMs, and even dealer principals that could care less about the practice of skating. Just get the sale, and that's all that matters. They aren't concerned with keeping good salespeople around. They want aggressive, ruthless, out-for-themselves salespeople. So they may say they don't approve of it, and they won't tolerate it, but they actually encourage skating by allowing it to continue and not punishing the perps. Oh, and by the way, it's not just the regular salespeople that are taking money out of honest sales pros' pockets. Your friends will turn on you when you're not looking, all for that easy commission. I've been skated by salesmen I knew and thought I could trust. I really believed they would never steal one of my customers until I found out the hard way. I was wrong. For some folks, money's more important than friendship. Now, I'm not saying don't trust anyone, but you should always verify, keep an eye out, and watch your back. In my 30-plus years in the car business, I've seen some dealerships go from successful, honest, customer service-oriented dealerships to ones that give us all a bad name. And you probably have some of those in your area today. Let's face it, it's getting harder and harder to turn a profit nowadays by doing the right things without the unscrupulous bad actors making it next to impossible to overcome the stereotypes our profession carries on its back. Skating happens with all sizes of dealerships. I've seen it at a dealership that employed 60 salespeople, and I see it today in dealerships with as few as 4 salespeople. I don't understand how we can work with these folks that show up every morning to work with their rollerblades on. Whatever happened to the honor system, where we watch each other's backs? I guess that's old school stuff, but I certainly hope not. Now, I can go on and on about the consequences of skating, and I've seen them go from splitting deals to absolute violence with each other, right there on the showroom floor. But I'd rather talk about ways and methods to deter skaters from even trying to steal from you. Sometimes getting skated is our own fault. There are some things that you can do to eliminate or at least minimize this theft. The first thing you need to do is ensure that you work in a place that you feel is honest and committed to doing things the right way. If you don't, you might be wanting to look for somewhere else to hang your hat. Now, this is unless you're one of those slimy car salespeople that earn medals for the number of deals they can skate from others. Next, put as much info on the customer into your CRM as possible. The more you have, such as full name, phone numbers, email addresses, and home addresses, the harder it'll be to not get skate alerts from your CRM and give you a chance to nip it in the bud or give the perp one right in the chops. Okay, I'm not telling you should go out and punch him in the mouth. Just kidding. Most dealerships incorporate a 72-hour rule which states that your customer is protected and belongs to you up to 72 hours or 3 days, whichever way you want to look at it, whether the original salesperson followed up or not. But in most cases, this rule is not enforced and results in encouraged skating with little or no consequences. My advice is to follow up daily with phone calls, emails, and text, and document that in your CRM if for no other reason than to keep your name in front of them. Remember, 30% of the people you know someone that will be purchasing a vehicle in the next 90 days, and you want those referrals and you don't want them skated either. Most importantly, treat your customers so good they won't want to work with anyone but you. You might have to train your customers, and what I mean by that is to school them on what to do when they come to the dealership, whether you're there or not. Well-trained sales pros always ask customers if they're here to see anyone in particular, if they've already been working with someone. Hopefully, you left such a good impression with them, either personally, on the phone, through email, or text, that they remember your name and they ask for you when they hit the lot, because those skaters won't ask those questions of greeting the customer. I'd really like to call us all professionals, but we all know those few at our store, and maybe some other stores that do everything within their power to make us look bad. And in these cases, one bad apple does spoil the whole bunch, and it's a reflection on all of us. So let's do what we can do to keep these thieves out of our business and continuing to grow our profession honorably. Remember, the sky's the limit. I'll see you soon.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode. Please rate it and write a review on Apple Podcasts. We appreciate your valuable feedback. You can email Terry at 10minutesalestalk@hot.rr.com. And don't forget to share this